Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Good morning, Sacramento. And a massive hello to everyone tuning in from around the globe. You are listening to Connecting the Dots, the show where we try to make sense of the daily flood of tech news. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan. It is Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. And, looking at the Morningstar report on my desk, it feels like the world shifted a little bit while we were sleeping.
It really does. We have a show today that, and I'm not exaggerating, might change how you think about your job.
Yeah.
And maybe even the moon.
Maybe, especially the moon. But before we get into all that, let's take a look outside.
If you're here in Sacramento with us, you know the drill. Grab that umbrella. It is wet.
Very wet, yeah. Showers pretty much all day with a high around 58 degrees. It's all part of this big Pacific storm system that's moving inland.
So rain for us, but if you're out in the Great Basin or the Rockies, you are just getting buried in snow right now.
And a quick shout out to our listeners in Alaska. A huge low pressure system is hitting them hard. So please stay warm and safe up there.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the markets. The big board is flashing a little green this morning. The Dow is up about 100 points, so a gain of 0.20%.
The S&P 500 is basically flat, just kind of hovering.
But crypto has taken a bit of a hit. Bitcoin's down about 2.5% this morning.
Yeah, trading around $67,000. So a little bit of red if you're looking at the digital wallet today.
A little discount, maybe. Now look, with a news day like today, I need some serious focus, not just the usual caffeine jitters.
I know exactly what you mean.
Which is why I am genuinely excited about our new partner, Strong Coffee.
I have been drinking this stuff all week getting ready for the show. It's premium instant coffee, but, and this is the key thing, it really doesn't taste like instant coffee.
It tastes like a real brew.
Exactly. And the kicker is what's inside. 15 grams of protein, MCTs, and adaptogens like ashwagandha.
Oh, ashwagandha is a total game changer. It gives you that clean, sustained energy, but without that awful crash, you get it too in the afternoon.
Right. If you want to try it out, head over to strongcoffeecompany.com, use our promo code SNARFUL, that's SNARFUL, and you'll get 20% off your entire purchase.
Seriously good stuff. And we are going to need it today because our lead story from the Morningstar report is, well, it's a big one.
We're calling it the Great AI Leap.
Let's just jump right in. For the past year, it feels like the common wisdom was, AI is kind of plateauing. It's getting cheaper, but not that much smarter.
We got comfortable.
And on February 5th, that idea just died.
It completely evaporated. We saw two massive models get released at the same time. OpenAI's GPT-5.3-Codex and Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6.
And looking at the specs, this isn't just a small update. This feels like a totally different kind of software.
It's a fundamental shift. Let's break down the players. First, you've got OpenAI's GPT 5.3 Codex. The main thing here is speed and memory. It's 25% faster.
Okay.
But the number that really matters for business is the context window. 400,000 tokens.
All right, let's stop there. We hear tokens thrown around all the time. For someone who isn't a machine learning expert, what does 400,000 tokens actually mean?
That's a great question. So think of a token as about 3/4 of a word. 400,000 tokens is like being able to read and remember 300 novels all at once.
300 novels?
Yep. You can feed it your entire company's documentation or years of legal files, and it holds all of that in its working memory for the whole conversation.
That's terrifyingly powerful. It's like an employee who memorized the entire company archive in 5 seconds.
Exactly. And then you have Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6.
And they're pushing it even further.
Even further.
Yeah.
They have a beta with a 1 million token context window, but where Claude is really standing out is in deep reasoning. It's more of a thinker. It can do long-term strategic planning.
But there was one detail in the technical documents for GPT 5.3 that just, it stopped me cold. We have to talk about this self-made angle.
Gosh, I had a feeling you'd catch that.
The report says, and I'm quoting here, that the model was instrumental in creating itself. It was used to debug its own training.
This is it. This is the feedback loop that researchers have been talking about for decades. It's called recursive self-improvement.
So you're using today's AI to help write the code for tomorrow's AI.
Precisely. And because the AI works so fast, it can find bugs and optimize things way faster than any human team ever could. The intelligence is compounding.
So the AI helped build a better AI.
That's it. And OpenAI is basically telling us that loop has officially started.
It reminds me of that Matt Schumer article you sent me. The analogy he used gave me chills. He compared right now, February 2026 to February 2020.
The before times.
Exactly. Remember that. The virus was in the news, but life felt normal. We were still going out. But the math said the world was about to change. He calls this the water rising moment.
It's a perfect analogy. You're standing on the beach, the water's at your ankles, and you think you're fine.
But there's a tsunami coming. And that tsunami is aimed squarely at the job market.
And not just for coders, right? That's the big misconception.
No. They started with code because that's the language they used to build more AI. But now that they've nailed high-level reasoning, they're moving on to everything else. Legal, finance, creative writing.
The CEO of Anthropic, Dario Amodei, predicted that 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs could be eliminated in 1 to 5 years.
1 to 5 years.
And looking at the performance data from METR, an organization that benchmarks AI 1 year, seems more likely than 5.
What are the numbers? What does the data show?
Well, a year ago, AI could do tasks that took a human a few minutes. Now, it can complete complex tasks that take a human expert 5 hours.
5 hours of work done. Instantly.
Instantly. And that capability is doubling every few months. Imagine hiring someone who does 5 hours of expert work in a second for pennies.
That's the new reality.
Yeah.
But you highlighted a really important point in the notes. A divide that's opening up between users.
Yeah, Schimmer calls it the flip phone problem.
I love that. What does he mean?
It's simple. If you're only using the free version of these tools, you're basically using a flip phone in a smartphone world. The free versions are older, less powerful models.
So people paying $20 a month have access to like a nuclear reactor while everything else is playing with sparklers.
That's a great way to put it. And it creates a false sense of security. You think AI is just okay because the free version makes mistakes. But you're going to be blindsided by someone using the paid tool to do your job 10 times faster.
Okay, so let's get practical. What's the move? How do our listeners get ahead of us?
The advice from the experts is pretty straightforward. It's the 1 hour rule.
The 1 hour rule.
Spend 1 hour a day, every day, using the paid tools. But don't ask it for a poem. Give it your actual work.
Give it the messy spreadsheet. Give it the boring contract you have to summarize.
Exactly. Force it to do the parts of your job you hate. Be the person who says, I already ran the analysis, not the one who says, I need a few days.
I wonder if I can get it to do my coffee run. That's the one thing I think is still safe.
It doesn't have legs, Alex, so your job is safe. For now.
Well, that's a perfect setup for our next story. We're moving from digital brains to physical bodies.
That's right, from the cloud to the factory floor. This story comes out of Austin, Texas. A startup called Apptronik just raised a huge funding extension.
How huge?
$520 million.
Wow.
Which brings their total round to nearly $1 billion. And the company's valued at over $5 billion.
That's a lot of cash for a hardware company. What are they building?
They're building Apollo. It's a humanoid robot.
Okay, so when I hear humanoid robot, my mind goes straight to, like, scary sci-fi movies or those videos of robots falling downstairs.
Right, and Apptronik is being very smart about that. They're focused on embodied AI, but with human psychology in mind. Apollo is designed to look friendly.
Friendly how?
Eye-level cameras, soft edges, a face that isn't just a blank slate. The goal is for it to work alongside people, not locked away in a cage.
A collaborator, not just a machine.
Exactly. And this isn't just a concept anymore. They have some major partners. Mercedes-Benz is already using Apollo on their production lines.
Wait, really? They're on the line right now?
Yes. Doing the dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs. You've also got Google DeepMind as a partner, plus investments from John Deere and AT&T.
It's interesting to compare them to Tesla's Optimus.
It is. Tesla is juggling cars, batteries, solar, a million things. Apptronik is laser focused on just the robot. That might be their biggest advantage.
Master the factory, then move to retail, then our homes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind an Apollo doing my dishes.
We're getting closer. But you see the trend, right? You've got the brain with GPT, and now you have the body with Apollo. The pieces are all coming together.
Speaking of pieces coming together, and speaking of big thinkers, we need to leave Austin and go somewhere a little farther out.
We're going to the moon.
Literally. At an all-hands meeting for xAI, Elon Musk dropped a bombshell. He told his employees the company needs a factory.
Not in Texas. Not in Nevada.
On the moon.
I had to double check this wasn't a joke. A factory on the moon. To do what?
To build AI satellites and launch them with a giant catapult.
A mass driver, technically.
A mass drive. Why? Why a catapult on the moon?
It actually comes down to basic physics. The moon has almost no gravity and no atmosphere, so you don't need a huge rocket to get into orbit. You can just build a long magnetic track and basically fling things into space.
So he wants to turn the moon into a giant launch pad to get more computing power into orbit than anyone else.
That's the plan. He said it's to secure the future of civilization. But while he's looking at the stars, things back on Earth for xAI are,
Messy. Messy is a good word for it. They've had a staff exodus, right?
a big one. 2 co-founders and a bunch of key employees just resigned. And then there are the legal issues.
A really serious one.
Yeah. The California Attorney General sent a cease and desist over their chatbot, Grok, being used to generate non-consensual deepfake images of real people.
And on top of that, environmental problems in Memphis.
Yep. Their data center there is under fire for using gas-burning turbines, and locals are complaining about a rotten egg-like stench.
Lovely. So pristine factory on the moon, but a rotten egg smell in Memphis. It's quite the contrast.
It's the classic Musk paradox, an unbelievably huge vision, but the execution on the ground is just pure chaos.
And amid all that chaos, he announced SpaceX is acquiring xAI.
Which, if you're planning on building a moon factory, I guess that makes a certain kind of sense. SpaceX is the only ride to get you there.
It's a lot to process. Self-improving code, friendly robots building cars, and moon catapults.
The future is definitely not boring.
Not at all.
Ooh.
All right, before we wrap this all up, I want to give a quick mention to our friends at Scony.
Oh yeah, love my sconies.
If you're a golfer, you really need to check out Scony.com. They make premium golf shoes that are just incredibly comfortable and look great.
And they've got a great deal for our listeners. Use that same promo code SNARFL and you'll get 15% off your entire purchase.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. 3 things you need to remember from today. What are they?
First, the ground has shifted under our feet with AI. GPT-5.3 and Claude 4.6 are here. They're self-improving. And if you're a knowledge worker, it is time to adapt. Now. Don't be the person with the flip phone.
Second, robots are getting real bodies. Apptronik has the money and the partners to put humanoid robots in Mercedes factories. This isn't science fiction anymore.
And third, Elon Musk is aiming for the moon. Literally, with a plan for a factory and a catapult. All while fighting regulators and staffing problems back on Earth.
It is a brave new world. And here's a thought to leave you with. We talked about AI having reasoning and robots being collaborators. As these lines keep blurring, the big question isn't just what can machines do anymore. It's what's left that only we can do.
That is the question of the decade.
Think on that one. Thank you so much for joining us on Connecting the Dots. We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.